on to some human resources stuff. First of all, good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. At your table, you should have two sheets. One is a memo from Karen Maurer about benefits. She wasn't able to be here today, but there are some benefits that that are available to you, and if you want more information or if you are considering signing up for any of those benefits, feel free to reach out to Karen. She's still handling those benefits. The other form that is at your table that I would appreciate if you fill out and leave it with me today is the one that says Discovery Benefits at the top. This is about flexible spending accounts. And I know a lot of you choose not to participate in the FSA, and that's fine, but we still have to have your signature and date at the bottom of the form. The very bottom line says step 5, refusal. So if you are not participating in the flexible spending account, you sign and date that bottom line on this form. For those of you that do participate in flexible spending and want money taken out of your check, for FSA, you would fill out the form and then sign and date just above the refusal line. There's a line for the people who are actually authorizing and participating in that. So my preference would be that you fill that out and leave it today. But I understand that some of you might want to think about it, or you might want to discuss it with your spouse, and that's okay. If you don't leave it today, if you could try and get that turned in the next week or so, that would be great. And then I just have a few other HR housekeeping items to discuss, things that have been brought to my attention to bring up with you guys, reminders, that type of thing. One thing is the timesheets. As you know, we're on a 2-week pay period, but you still turn your timesheets in weekly, and our week runs Saturday through Friday. Ideally, we'd like your timesheets on Friday or over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. As soon as your week is done and you have your timesheet filled out fully, go ahead and submit that. And I know some of you mail it, but otherwise faxing, emailing, however it is that you turn in your timesheet to us, we would like it as soon as possible when the week ends. Also keep in mind that when the month ends, we need your timesheet at the end of the month, regardless of where we're at in the week. So if the month ends, if the 30th would fall on a Monday, you would turn in your timesheet with just the 30th on Monday, and you would start a new timesheet on Tuesday the 1st. I don't think those are the dates this month, I'm just using it as an example, but don't wait for that week to end if the month ended during that week. We need month-end data for some of our reports, and so you have to end up splitting that week's timesheet into 2 because of the month ending. Are there any questions about timesheets, either your weekly timesheet or when the month ends? Okay, thank you. A few other things. The PCP, the Physical Capacity Profile test that you take at rehab services, that is only good for 5 years. And so for many of you, the 5 years is upon us. And we are now being asked to renew it because that expired. They want to know every 5 years, what is your physical profile for the benchmark for your personal situation. And so you might be asked by Dee from our office. She might send you a letter saying that your PCP is due. You can schedule it yourself at a place that does PCP tests, or you can ask Dee in our office to schedule it for you, and she'd be happy to do that. But don't be surprised if you get that letter and are needing to do that again. It's not just the drivers, our staff does it too. Also with driver's license, your license does expire, and when you get a new one, you have to remember that our office needs an updated copy of your driver's license in our office. And we need a color copy of it, and we need the front and the back. So when you go to the driver's license station, the courthouse, wherever it is you go and get your new license to get it renewed, make sure the office gets a colored copy. Or if you come to Atlantic, we'd be happy to make that color copy front and back for you, but for those of you that are out in these other counties, you might not be coming to Atlantic, and so if you could get a copy to us in color, that's what we need. And then the last thing I'll say, and then it looks like the lunch is starting to come out, and so we'll give you guys a little break to eat, but another thing brought to my attention is what they're calling train the trainer, and that is that you guys essentially are trainers for us out there in the field. When we hire a new driver, after they're done with paperwork in Atlantic, Kristen and Kelly set up for you guys to ride along with one of our veteran drivers and kind of have them show you the ropes. It's a little shadowing experience before you start driving solo yourself. And that is a perfect opportunity for you guys to do some training with that new employee. You can show them your timesheet and how you fill your timesheet out for that particular trip or route that they're riding along on. Show them your tablet and how you process your trips. We train them that stuff in the office, but it's like pretend scenarios. We're not really driving a route, picking people up or dropping them off. And with the timesheet, you know, we're filling out just their training time, but we're not filling out this MCO trip or this STS route or school route or whatever it is you might be doing and showing them. And so you guys, the time they have with you is more valuable than the time they have with us in the office in terms of like actual hands-on training for them that day. And they can ask you questions, you can give them tips of things that works well for you. But please utilize that time and consider yourself a trainer in that situation when they're side by side with you. Maybe if it's the wheelchair lift that's being used on that particular trip, you can even, you know, use that as a little bit of a training moment as well. So that is something that going forward, we really rely on you guys to use that time. It's not just for the heck of it. It really is a valuable training experience for that new employee. And just like you appreciated when you were new, somebody kind of showing you the ropes, taking you under their wings and answering questions or helping you out, we need you to turn around and kind of be that trainer for them when we ask you to have somebody ride along. So those are kind of the main things that I needed to bring to you guys today about, or from the Human Resources office, and the main thing is the benefit sheet that I need back from you. But while I'm up here with the podium, are there any questions or comments you guys have for HR?
Just one.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Is a photo of our license considered a copy, or do we need an actual?
A photo is fine. We
So
need
like
front and back color.
So if I take with my phone and then send it to you, that'll work?
That's
right?
okay, as long as it's in color and front and back.
Yep.
Yes, we can do that.
Maybe I missed it, but on the physical profile, will you be setting that up with a physician, or do we have to do it with our own physician?
So either scenario, I think the letter starts out with, the first scenario is that you can set that up. And depending on where you go, if it's a CHI, they might want authorization from our office anyway that we're being billed for it, that they can bill us. The second scenario on the letter is that if you prefer that we set it up for you, we can do that. And Dee in our office would be happy to set your PCP up for you. There are some medical facilities that don't even do that. I mean, they really have to have the right equipment. There's a machine that they use, obviously, and so if they have a physical therapy or rehab services, chances are they do it. But we have a list of places within our 8 counties that offer a PCP. So if you're not sure where you can go to have it done, but you want to set it up yourself, you can always call Dee and ask what places you could go to. So it doesn't matter to us if you set it up or if you ask her to do that for you. But just know if it ends up being a CHI affiliated place in Council Bluffs, they're going to ask us for an authorization form anyway with my signature on it that says you can bill us for the exam. So either way, good question. Anything else?